Welcome into a post-game reaction show here on Believe, the Believe in Panthers podcast. I'm your host, Desmond Johnson, joined by the Panthers' all-time leading rusher, Jonathan Stewart. The Panthers with a walk-off 16-13 win over the previously best in the NFC Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. I feel like Stu talked this into fruition in our midweek show as a lot of the Panther fans were kind of like throwing this one away, like, oh, well, I guess it's going to be a loss for us. I don't think we felt that way earlier this week. Feels good. It feels good.
It feels good. It feels good to be right.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good. And that's what happens when you're pumping positivity. When you're pumping positivity as much as we do with Believe in Panthers, positivity will find you. And it feels like this year the Carolina Panthers are finally trending in the positive manner as opposed to over here, over there, over here. Rico Dottle rushing for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, got the start. Got banged up in the game, kept coming back in. I'm going to talk about Rico in just a bit. Green Bay basically came back to the herd in their division. Now they're 5-2-1 with the loss. Carolina 5-4, only 2 games back of Tampa in the NFC South. Stu, let's split it off with you. Your initial thoughts. What did you think about this game? Both teams kind of started off slow offensively, but I thought it was a pretty good game to watch as a true football fan, just watching them going back and forth, especially on the defensive sides.
Yeah, man. We kind of started off slow in the slumber, but the Green Bay Packers also started in a slumber. So that played into our favor, right? I think they said something along the lines that they had 3 offensive drives in the first half. When you have 3 offensive drives and you're an offense that has been explosive throughout the whole entire season so far with Jordan Love and company, your expectations is to have at least 2 to 3 more drives, right? They didn't have that. And those 3 drives they had were not executed to the best of their ability. But I think the Carolina Panthers defense did an excellent job of putting pressure on Jordan Love throughout the whole entire game to where he couldn't just sit comfortably, right? Our front 4, led by Derek Brown, these guys, man, they were getting after him all game long. And that's what you need when you are on the road. You have to make sure you put an extra bit of I don't know, attitude adjustment, whatever it is, on away games, because those games don't come easy. And especially when you're playing what a lot of people thought coming into this game, they were thinking the Green Bay Packers might be the favorite in the NFC. But the Carolina Panthers, they showed up. And you know what day it was, Desmond?
What's that?
Tap that believe
button. Hold on a minute. Let me get this situated here. Because we can use it. We can use it today.
Yeah, we're using that.
For the ones that, especially for the Panther fans that have been with us throughout.
Do you believe?
Do you believe? Okay. This was the Rico Dowdle show. And we had a front row for the last several weeks of what to expect. So if you don't know who Rico Dottle is, you need to know now. He went up there to Lambeau Field, okay, and got in the zone twice, okay? But he was moving those chains, fella, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, the bell cow, all right? The bell cow decision by Dave Canales coming into this game was a crucial one, and one that we were all expecting and all sitting at the window, imagine sitting at the window on a rainy day when you're a little kid and you're like, man, it's raining outside. When is it going to stop raining? When is it going to stop raining? When are we going to put Rico in? Look, the wait is over, okay? My man battled through some discomfort today. It looked like he was battling through a little,
groin injury or something.
Hurts in there, pains. Yeah. But you know what? He's a dog, and we knew he was a dog. The Dowdle performance was dominant. And the offensive line had some injuries throughout the course of this game.
I don't even know how we got linemen right now.
But when you have a running back like Rico Dottle, it's easy to block for a guy like that because he's hitting these holes and he's hitting it regardless if the hole's there. Just like last week when we said it, Rico Dottle, if there's a hole, cool. If there ain't, he gonna make one. Okay. And that's that was the mindset to me today when I saw the Carolina Panthers on the field. They were making it happen, and they were playing their game. run the ball, defense. The pass will open up when you run the ball. And it sure did, right? There was a couple of miscues, I think, on the passing game that I think Bryce Young would take back that would make this game probably less interesting. The two pump Rico Dottle in the end zone after scoring. Two pumps is enough. If you've seen the Key and Peele TV show where they do the skit where the touchdown celebration and it's like,
yeah,
don't do it again, and he's like, and he gets ejected, right? Or they throw the flag. But Rico Dowdle, the energy was there throughout the whole entire team. You know, when you're on an away game and you're having fun, I saw guys on the sideline dapping each other up. You can hear through the mics people, especially when you're on an away game, when you score, it gets quiet. And the only people that are talking are the visiting team. And so when you hear through the mics, you can hear the celebration on the sideline. You can hear guys like just enjoying themselves. So I was excited. Desmond, you said you knew that the game was over within the third quarter because you probably just felt the energy through the TV. It was night and day.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even so much a shift. It felt like that from the beginning of the game where it felt like Green Bay was trying to hold sand in their hands and like it was just pouring out and they were still trying to do it. And it was like, this isn't the Green Bay team I expected to see when we were talking about this in the middle of the week. Yeah. And then the longer Carolina was just kind of playing without making a big mistake, they just got more and more confident. And with the stuff with Rico, shout out to head coach Dave Canales, because the past couple of weeks, that's been the main debate amongst the Panther fan base about who should start at running back, who should get the majority of carries, Rico or Chuba Hubbard. Dave kind of came out midweek last week and was like, Rico's going to be the one this week. And they stuck to their guns. He got 25 plus carries, ran for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was the difference in the game, in my opinion, for both sides. And it was a stark difference from when Rico got hurt, had to come out, and Chuba came in to spell him. Chuba runs differently. Chuba waits for a hole to open. Rico, like you said last week, he makes the hole. He's in there dragging people 8 yards down the field. And it's not disrespect to Chuba, but Rico right now gives this offense the best chance to succeed and the team the best chance to win. And it happened today. You put Rico in. Your 2 biggest wins of the season have been with Rico Dowdle as your bellwether running back, the Dallas Cowboys and now the Green Bay Packers on the road, which is the biggest win we've had probably in a number of years, to be honest. Yeah. But Rico was the core catalyst of this. You didn't need Bryce so much today, other than what I was saying before. He kind of settled the fort, made some key passes. I think he only threw for like 100-something yards. It wasn't a whole lot, but he didn't need to with the course of this game. And it just felt like by the time we got to like the back end of the third quarter, I was like, this game is kind of going at a rate where neither team's going to pull away from each other. It feels like whoever has it last is going to have an opportunity to win. And when Green Bay scored that touchdown, and I saw they gave us 30 more seconds, and it was like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which gave us an extra free timeout, the 2-minute warning. I was like, that's literally all they need. They need that much to get down there. They just need to be around the 30-yard line, and we got a shot. And if not, we're going to overtime, and I'll take my chances with Rico and them in overtime. And dude hits a 40-something yard field goal, walk off. Dave Canales perfectly ran the clock in terms of leaving nothing on the clock. Like
I was hoping the game strategy. I tweeted on X saying we have to manage the last minutes of this game like appropriately. We have to move the chains. We cannot stall out. We cannot give them a chance to have the ball in their hand at the end of the game. And sure enough, perfect play calling at the end of the game, leaning heavy on the run, leaning heavy on the play action and the guys that you can trust as far as getting open and connecting with Bryce Young there for a pivotal, passing plays and performance there. But man, listen, going back to this, the celebration in the end zone.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns for Rico Dottle, 130-yard game. He dictated the energy as far as what the Carolina Panthers were about today. Should he have not done the celebration? Maybe not. But you want to know something? He did that. The team, the offensive line, everybody in the end zone together, coming together, and saying, "Hey, we get a penalty, so what? We're gonna win this game, regardless." Right?
Yeah,
and I love that energy because, in all essence, he shouldn't have gotten a penalty. It was only 2 pumps, only 2. It was only 2, ref. So whoever you are, you need to go watch Key and Peele because it's 3 pumps. Okay, 2 pumps, you're good, bro. But 3. Like you give them the penalty, but 2, you got to let them slide, dog. But you want to know something? After Rico Dottle, after they got the penalty, you know what he said? Hey, let's go for 2. I saw a lot of guys on the field saying, "Hey, let's just go for 2. We'll get it." Like the mindset, you know what I'm saying? I love where this is going.
That's different,
yeah. And you're on the road. We're going for it on 4th downs. Like, hey, we're here to try to win the game, not trying to not lose. And that was the difference in this game as opposed to the away game in New England. You're going to have guys go down, but next guy stand up. And kudos again to Canales for calling that type of game where you lean heavy on your bell cow. But more importantly, dog, that defense, the secondary was active, right?
Yeah, it was on it today.
You know Jordan Love was going to throw that ball deep. Go ahead, bait him.
Some of those throws he was throwing too. I'm like, who are you throwing to?
Hey, he was throwing it to us.
Yeah, that's like ghosts. Like who's in his head?
Mike Jack could have had he could have had him another house call, another opportunity for a house call. But you know what, man? They were all in the positions to win. Evero called a good game, understanding what the focus point was today, which was coverage, right? Let Jordan Love make the right decision, and you have a good enough defensive front to get after him. Obviously, watching this game, the Packers' weak point was their pass protection. I don't think they were pretty solid. I don't think they were solid, have been solid all year in pass protection, and that was something that he felt confident in with those 4 down guys getting after Jordan Love. But man, what a game! What an absolute opportunity for these guys to go into a division opponent with some gas, right? Yeah. You got some gas, you got some mojo. But hold on, we got to give a salute to the young rookie. I'm not talking Larry Fitzgerald. I ain't talking Ella Fitzgerald. I'm talking Ryan Fitzgerald, fella.
The
kicker. Hey, boy, you showed out. You came through when we needed you.
I think that was in the win too. That kick. Yeah, that was into the win.
Yeah, Greg Olsen and them. They was talking on the game because they covered the game today. Greg Olsen, shout out. You always do an amazing job. But they were talking about the wind and how it was circling throughout the whole game. And so that when you have wind and gust blowing all over the place, it's kind of hard to determine what you're going to want to do in certain situations, such as a field goal kick, such as it's 3rd down and long. Do I want to really test the wind here with my quarterback to fit into certain coverages? So there's a lot that goes into these games, man. And it just goes to show you the preparation that takes place for all different types of scenarios. You got to be on top of it because I feel like all of those types of scenarios came up today in this game, and we executed with really good intel.
I'm glad you mentioned the wind because that's something that we might overlook. That one interception that Bryce threw in the end zone, he was trying to hit Leggett in the corner, but it looked like he just kind of hit it short. I'm willing to bet the wind picked that ball up because when you look at it, Rico, it's like, who's he trying to throw to? Because he's throwing it. It looks like he's trying to get it to the corner, but it doesn't get there at all. It just kind of drops, and it's going to the other guy. And I'm like, that's not even the guy that was defending Xavier. That's the next guy. So now that you said that, I'm like, you know what? It actually makes sense right there in the end zone too, that wind might have pushed that ball back as Bryce threw it in the arc, and it just fell. It just fell out of the sky. So those
are the 2 passes that I was talking about there in the end zone, where I'm sure, like in his mind, he's thinking to himself, "Man, I got to make that play." But in our reality, like that was the situation there in Lambeau today. It was a lot of wind, a lot of gusts, but there's no excuses there, right? If you're a player, you're thinking to yourself, I can make every throw, especially in these situations, to help my team out. Offensive coordinator dials the play up, and he's giving me a chance to make something happen for my team. And so luckily today we have Rico. That's Rico Dottle, Rico Dottle, Rico Dottle.
We hammered it home this past week in our midweek, and we are on twice a week. We do post-game reaction shows live now on Believe's YouTube channel and across Believe's podcast network, and then we're on midweek for our preview shows that you can catch on Believe's YouTube channel and the podcast network. I'm going to get through some of the comments since we're live, and I know there's a lot of Panther fans who want to hop on today, which usually is the case during a Panther win. Some people kind of talking about Bryce, 11 for 20 for 102 yards is very mid. Bryce didn't have to go out and throw for 300 yards, and I've said it before. I don't want Bryce to have to go out and throw for 300 yards. I'd rather win a game just like that, where Bryce limits the turnovers, directs traffic, drives the car, makes the passes he needs to pass, and just lead us to victory. I don't need you to carry us to victory. Just lead us there. And the team felt different with Bryce out there as opposed to Andy Dalton. So on that thing, I'm not looking for video game numbers from Bryce at this point. Just show up and be Bryce Young.
The people that are upset about Bryce Young not throwing for crazy numbers this game, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, and you telling on yourself, because all you really care about is your FanDuel bets. And that's okay.
Fantasy football.
That's okay. You can make your bets, but the biggest bet that matters the most is whether or not we get that dub. Okay?
Exactly. Fantasy football, people. That's what it really is. Like, oh, I didn't get my fantasy team. He only got me 8 points or whatever this week. That's why I stopped playing fantasy football. I was ruining my Sundays. I was having to watch like every team and keep up with stats and stuff. And it was just like, ugh. People say, do you think we'll trade Chuba? No, I don't. And this is why, because we don't need to. And it's kind of it's mighty presumptuous. It's mighty presumptuous for fans to just assume that there's a trade market for Chuba for starters. I mean, it's the middle of the season. Like, no one is looking to bring in a $4 million a year running back right now, nor do they probably have the money to. And two, why would we give up our tandem? Like, this is the thing that bothers me the most with Panther fans when it comes to this. We're gonna use these buttons today because I don't even know. Do I still have it in here?
Yeah, look, the trade deadline is gone.
I still have this button in here because I'm trying to. Because there's one thing that people will do that are Panther fans. As soon as we get a player that's like a good player, or
they just transactional, man.
They transaction. They want to trade them away, or if somebody's not good, can we trade them? Can we trade them? Or if somebody comes open from off of another team, regardless of what the position is, everything I see online is, should the Panthers go after him? Should the Panthers go get this wide receiver? I'm like, no.
I hate to see those people's fantasy football teams.
They're all over the place.
All over the place.
So people talking about trading Chuba. I'm like, why? Like, this thought crossed my mind during the game too. And again, I do like Chuba Hubbard, but I do start to think that Chuba was a beneficiary of his situation beforehand. And by that, I mean this. Chuba was kind of like the best looking car on a lot that had cars that were worse off than him because of what was around him last year. So it naturally made him look better. Like, Miles Sanders didn't have a good year. Jonathan Brooks was hurt all year. They didn't really have anything around. It was just Chuba. So Chuba got his 1,000 yards, looked really good, got his money. This year, somebody comes in running harder, looks a lot different on the screen than Chuba, and it changes your view of Chuba. And I'm like, no, Chuba's still the same back. It's just that this back brings something different than Chuba doesn't bring. It doesn't mean you get rid of Chuba. It means you keep Chuba and you figure out a way to use him as opposed to just tossing him to the trash. Because people don't understand, Rico's on a 1-year deal. Like, Rico's going to cost some money to somebody when the season is over. It might, hopefully it's us, but he's going to get his money at the end of this year. And I don't know if Carolina is willing to pay even more money to another running back. I don't know. What the question is, will he trade Chuba this year? No, they're not trading him this year. What they do after this, I have no idea. And you still have Jonathan Brooks sitting off to the side. We still have no idea what he is. He hasn't played really organized football in 2 years, but he was a top running back.
This is a business. And could he be traded? Yes. Could Rico be traded? Yes. Yeah. Could anybody be traded? Yes.
Nobody.
Someone here in the comments said it perfectly. They said, "Bro, we traded Christian McCaffrey. Everyone is tradable." Listen, anything can happen, but you're worried about the wrong things, is what we're telling you. Yeah. The guys that are in that locker room, the trade deadline's over with, them your guys. And today, if you aren't satisfied, I want y'all, listen, give me a ticket. Give it here. I'm taking tickets. I will give them to new fans.
I will add an addendum. I will add an addendum on the McCaffrey deal where, yes, they did trade him, but they probably shouldn't have. Like, that was a front office in flux. Like, they didn't know what they wanted to do from week to week. So we can't really use that as an example. Well, McCaffrey got traded. Yeah, but was he supposed to?
But the point there is that when it does happen and it don't make sense, that's where it comes from. Everybody's tradable because people that make decisions, they do them for their own reasons that we might not understand. But I can guarantee you this: if Dan Morgan was on staff and he was making decisions, it would look a lot different here in Carolina.
McCaffrey in San Francisco. Willie Green on here is saying, did they comment on Fox commentary playing with their food? I did hear that at halftime. They were basically, nobody was giving Carolina credit for hanging with Green Bay. They were basically like, oh, Green Bay's just playing with their food. In the second half, they'll actually start eating it. Well, the food ate Green Bay today.
Yeah, the food, you know what the food was? The food was poison for Green Bay today. That cheese that's supposed to be sitting there, aging over time in the right elements and the right environment. Man, that cheese was out there getting fried in the sun.
Okay? And Green Bay's supposed to know their cheese. Like, they're supposed to know what the cheese is all about.
Yeah, in the words of Steve Smith, they was worried about worried about the wrong grilled cheese today because they was worried about what was going on playing with the food while the grilled cheese was actually on the stove burning up.
Yep. Now,
but you want to know something? Cheese, right? If your cheese head is on your head, it's at the wrong place. Okay? It's supposed to be on a plate, getting grated. Okay? And that's what Carolina Panthers did anyway today. They grated cheese all up in Lambeau Field.
And this is something they can build on because next week they're hosting the Saints. It's a divisional game. It's at Bank of America Stadium where we've only lost one game all year. It's a way to grow here. Now that we're over 5, we're 5-4. Can we get to 6-4? We're back on stacking again. And now the schedule doesn't seem as daunting when we were looking at like 2 weeks ago after a loss. And we're looking like, oh God, we got Buffalo and you got Green Bay and all this. Now I'm looking at them like this is manageable. Most of this divisional games, and those, how those go. They're either way, and we need those games. Now you can seriously start having this conversation about, okay, what can this Panther team do if they're fully healthy? Because we are not even healthy. Like, again, the offensive line, there's dudes out there I've never heard of. Like, I'm just like, who was that? Who was that? And they're running behind it. Rico got 130 yards on 25 carries or whatever today behind basically like the dudes that work in the back of Walmart that actually do the delivery stuff and bring them out to you. The big dudes that be pulling out the TV stuff. That was the offensive line today.
Yeah.
And he's running behind
there. They was out there delivering packages.
They were delivering packages on time.
News alert. The Carolina Panthers are a good team. We 5-4, boy. We above 500.
It's not a fluke.
It's not a fluke. Yeah. Listen, we beat a good team in the NFC. It's going to matter at some point down the road, especially when they keep winning. Look, the defense was disruptive, right? Like last week, he was giving out free cars like Oprah. This week, you ain't give up no gas. You ain't give no gas. You gave a little bit of gas, but you know what? When you have to get over the border, it comes with a tax. Okay, and the Green Bay Packers, they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough for the tax.
This is weird. This is weird for me because I'm not used to, what is this? This is November 2nd, and I'm not used to hosting this show. I don't think I've ever hosted this show with us being over 500 in November. I got to go back and check, but I don't think that ever happened before. So I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, I don't know. Like,
this is what you do with your hands, man. You do this right here.
I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. So quick look at the box score, and then we'll get into the FanDuel. Actually, let me do the FanDuel bet of the week first. We usually do the Monday night game, and the Monday night game this week is actually the Arizona Cardinals at the Dallas Cowboys. The over/under is 53.5 on this, and the 4-leg same game part. Well, actually, you know what? Let me go to the popular ones. The popular ones that are on here. And again, this is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel Sportsbook. Go to sportsbook.fanduel.com, hit the NFL tab, go down. They got parlays, spreads, money, all that kind of stuff where you can go in. You can do quick bets, you can do prop bets, you can do popular bets. This one, both teams to complete their first pass attempt. So yeah, I guess Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott. That seems like a pretty good one. And then the 4-leg same game parlay: CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown score, Javonte Williams anytime touchdown score, George Pickens anytime touchdown score, and Jake Ferguson. That's all Dallas anytime touchdown score. That is a plus 3,061, meaning you bet $10 on that, you win $306.16. So if all 4 of those Cowboys score touchdowns on Monday Night Football and you place that bet, $10, you win $300. So head over to FanDuel and win or lose your money if you choose to when you head over there. And I'll just stay over inside and marvel at all the people that go on and bet on these games and know what they're doing, because I still have no clue how to go about navigating that. The box score for today, again, like I said, Rico Dottle, 25 carries, 130 yards, averaging 5.2 yards a clip, 2 touchdowns on the day. Bryce Young, 11 for 20, 102 yards, 5 yards a throw, basically just kept them around. That interception, again, it looked like the wind kind of just knocked it out of the sky because it went to a defender that wasn't even defending the guy he was throwing it to. Jordan Love got up to 26 for 37, 273 yards, had an interception himself. Josh Jacobs, they held him to 87 yards. They held the Green Bay rushing attack total to 104 yards on the day on 25 carries. So about 4 yards carry, which is great. No fumbles lost by Carolina. Green Bay did lose one. Just overall, a great just road gutted out team win that they needed after last week. Like, I wanted to see how this team responded after last week. Do you just kind of fall back to what you were doing before, or do you keep doing what you've had success in this year? And they did. They stuck to their guns. And the number one thing to me that was the change in this game is Rico Dowdle. You gave, not only did you start Rico, you basically told her, you're going to get the bulk of these carries. Like, you're going to get this today. Like, you're going to get it. It's you. And are you up to it? And even, you know what, the thing that endeared me and probably Panther fans the most about Rico Dowdle, when he got hurt initially and got up and you saw 2 people on the sidelines talking to him on the bench, never in my mind did it cross my mind he wasn't coming back in that game.
Oh, no, he was walking. He was trying to walk that off.
Yeah, he's coming back in this game.
I know that walk too well. Look, it's like, man, look, just let me go over here for a second, get my mind right on this, on what I'm feeling, so that way I can determine whether or not I can go back. And so once he got up and he was by himself, and I saw him on TV by himself walking off on the sideline, helmet still on.
Yeah,
if the helmet's still on, I'm going back in the game.
Going back in the game. And
the helmet come off, that means I might need a little break.
I saw him with that little muscle thing that, like, he was using that on his thigh on the sideline.
Oh,
yeah. He got this opportunity today. He is not about to squander it. You're gonna have to saw that leg off before you go out this game. He's gonna be in there the whole day.
Up, man. Make sure you get in the hot tub, take care of your body, and get right, man.
How hard is it to run the way he runs with an injury like that? Because
it's hard.
Like his inner thigh and all this. His run is power. Like, he's powering through tackles. That's the thing I love about him. He's not a scat back. He's not trying to elude you. He's looking for contact. And once he gets it, it's almost like you're the defender and don't expect the contact. So you go bouncing off, and then he goes running through 8-9 yards later. He's up the field, and you're like, yo,
some people look for holes. He looks for creases. Okay.
Yes, that's the perfect way to describe
it. That's the difference right there. He's looking for creases. When you're looking for holes, it's got to look a certain type of way. When you're looking for creases, somebody can be there, and you're going to get hit because the crease is right there. And the only thing that stopped me from actually getting yards after carry is the fact that you can tackle me or I can break your tackle. He's basically betting on himself a lot more.
That's it. And that perfectly describes Rico and Chuba. Like, to me, like, that's kind of what's going on with them right now. And there was a couple of camera shots from behind the Carolina line when Rico had it, and you can kind of see what they were talking about, because Olsen did a great job describing that too, where Rico has it and you just see this wall of humanity in front of him. There's no hole. And he just kind of still dancing a little bit. And then there's a little crease, like right there. And he goes, boom. As soon as he hits it. And once he hits it, he's 4 yards up the field already. And now somebody might bounce off of him. Somebody might grab him. He's usually running through the first tackle more often than not. So once he does that, he's already 5 yards up, like past the line of scrimmage. Now it's a matter of, do the linebackers realize he's still upright and running or not? Because now it's about to be from a 5-yard run to a 15-yard run or whatever it ends up being. And he does that every time. And this is not a fluke with Rico, because he was doing this in Dallas. I can't figure out how Dallas let this dude go. Like,
I can.
What were we doing? Like,
they don't know ball.
I mean,
and you know who knows ball? You know who knows ball?
Crazy.
You know who knows ball, right?
Who's that?
Dan Morgan.
I just want to say David Tepper. I was like, what?
Dan Morgan knows
Dan
ball.
Morgan knows ball. We trusted Dan when they hired him. What was the first thing both of us said? You know the guy. And I was like, look, I trust Dan Morgan to be the GM more than anybody on this earth right now.
Listen,
like,
there's no questioning that needs to be held as far as what decisions we make from here going on, us going forward. Dan Morgan, whatever decision you want to make, brother, it's signed off.
You got it.
Sent, sealed, and delivered.
And for those that were doubting when if somebody give David Tepper some flowers too, because everybody was doubting him when he basically was like, when I made this hire with Dave Canales and Dan Morgan, he told Joe Person, like at that, when they were introducing Dan Morgan, Joe tried to crack a joke or whatever. And he was like, nah, I'm in the background now. And everybody thought it was a joke. No, my man's in the background. Like he's not out front. He's not acting as if he's making these. He's not trying to be Jerry Jones Jr. He's not out there in front of everything anymore. He don't have a radio show or anything like that. He's letting the guys he hired do what he had them hired to do. And that's what you're supposed to do as the owner. Now, I've always been mad at folks when they're like, what is Dave Tepper doing at practice today? Blah, blah, blah. He owns the team. He can come anytime he wants to. What are you talking about? What's he doing at practice? Why is he meddling? Again, he owns the team.
Again, them people, man, listen, common sense ain't common, Desmond.
It really ain't, especially these days. Like people, I wish people could buy some common sense. Just like if someone could tell them, you ain't got no common sense, they selling it on sale at Walmart tonight.
If you want some common sense, we selling that over here too.
Yeah, right. You need some common sense.
Neighborhood Hope dealer selling common sense too.
We got different fans on here. Julian Rodillo 12 says Chargers fan, congratulations Panthers. So we got other fans from other bases kind of noticing here. And Justin Herbert's looking good, dude. Congratulations on that. Jim Harbaugh's got y'all looking right, so keep that going there. Just looking through a couple more of these before we get out of here. Rico gives the team a spark from Carolina Kid. Did Wallace get hurt? Yes, actually I was going to mention that before we got out of here. And usually midweek we will go through the injury report. And for the Panthers, it's been a long line of them. But in this game, Chandler Zavala, the offensive guard that just came back, departed in the first half. Trevin Wallace left late in the fourth quarter. Cade Mays, the center, and Princely Umanmillan. Princely Umanmillan. They didn't play. So he would not throw with an ankle. Cade would not throw with an ankle too. Coming up next, New Orleans on Sunday at home at the bank, at the vault. I think we're going to get out of here. You got anything else you want to get out before we get out of here?
No, man. Rico Dowdle came to play. It was his show, and we, got to see Dave Canales hand over the keys for this game to a guy that was ready to run the rock. And Chuba was right there as a complete tandem. When Rico needed to come out, Chuba stepped in. They kept the drives going. And Bryce Young, he played a game that required him to manage, and he did a fantastic job of that. Escaping out of the pocket. The escapability is crucial for those first downs that he was able to convert on foot. And then defense, man, Derek Brown and company, Princely. Brown, I mean, Trevin Wallace played a pretty good game today. Shout out to Roseboom as well.
Ever since they switched them, they've both been playing really well. Yeah,
just playing fast, being able to process things really fast, which allows you to just be in position to succeed. Right? You see your play develop, you trust it from your preparation of watching film and coaching, and knowing that your coach has you in position to excel, and you just execute, man. I just feel like we executed better in certain situations than the Green Bay Packers. And I think a lot of that too was Green Bay. You talk about penalties, a lot of crucial penalties. I think 2 penalties today gave us 2 crucial first downs. That was huge for us on an away game.
They were doing a lot of false starts at home, like the Packers. Like they were just doing some stuff and I forget, the Packers are like the youngest team by age average in the NFL. Like people act like they've arrived and stuff. They haven't done anything yet. They're still learning themselves, like how to win football games. So this was a game that, we thought coming into it was a game that if we did the right things, we could win the game. A lot of folks in the national media thought that no. I think everybody picked Green Bay for this one. And hopefully, I don't really care if we are on people's radar right now, to be honest. Like I'm fine sliding right underneath it and keep doing what we're doing.
Yep.
And we got a Saints team next week that's ripe for the taking. I don't think this Panther team is anywhere near being able to look past an opponent. So hopefully we get healthier, get some more people back, and go from there. We'll be back midweek, usually around Wednesday morning. The preview episode drops. You can catch us there. Around the league, True Falls is taking the nation by storm with Jonathan Stewart. We'll have that with some new topics on there. We'll preview, give you an injury report for who's going to be active and who may not be for Sunday's game. And who knows what else. We'll have all kinds of stuff for you, but appreciate everybody stopping by for our live version. We're live usually pretty much every game now. So after Saints game, we'll be live again next Sunday, but we're going to get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Chiefs and Bills playing right now. So go check that out. For Jonathan Stewart, this is Desmond Johnson. You've been watching and listening to the Believe Podcast Network, or for Believe in Panthers here on Believe Podcast Network, powered by FanDuel. Keep pounding, y'all.